A young woman steps into the spotlight, arms wrapped around a man who raised her but didn't create her. She whispers 3 words that silence the world. Papa's biggest fan. This isn't just another celebrity photo. This is the culmination of a love story that defied biology, that rewrote the rules of family, that survived one of Hollywood's most heartbreaking divorces. Her name is Leni Klum, and the man holding her, he's not her biological father, but he's the only dad she's ever known. The year was 2003. Heidi Klum was Germany's golden girl, supermodel, Victoria's Secret. Angel, the face that launched 1,000 campaigns. She was dating Italian billionaire Flavio Briatore, Formula One mogul, playboy, the kind of man who collected beautiful women like trophies. But then came the news that changed everything. Heidi was pregnant. 2 pink lines, a heartbeat growing inside her. And suddenly, Flavio wasn't interested anymore. He walked away, left her alone, carrying his child but bearing his rejection. Imagine that moment. Standing in a bathroom, holding a pregnancy test, while your world crumbles around you. The father of your unborn child choosing his freedom over your future. But fate had other plans. Enter Seal, the British singer with the distinctive voice and the scars that told stories. Kiss from a Rose had made him a legend. But it was his heart that would make him a hero. He met Heidi when she was already 2 weeks pregnant, already carrying another man's child, already broken by abandonment. Most men would have run. But Seal, he saw possibility where others saw problems. It's everything, and it has always been like that. From the day I met her mother, he would later say. She was 2 weeks pregnant with this beautiful lady. We have always had that bond. A bond formed before birth, love decided in an instant. May 4th, 2004, Leni Briatore entered the world. But from her first breath, she was Seal's daughter in every way that mattered. He was there for midnight feedings, first steps, first words. He became Papa while Flavio remained a stranger. 2005 brought wedding bells. Heidi and Seal exchanged vows in Mexico. A fairy tale wedding for a reconstructed family. But the most beautiful moment came 4 years later. 2009's Seal officially adopted. Leni, her name changed from Briatore to Klum. Her father figure became her legal father. Leni Klum, she would write from that day forward. A name that represented choice over chance. Love over biology. They weren't just building a family, they were creating a dynasty. Henry Samuel arrived in 2005. Johan Riley Fuder Taiwu in 2006. Lou Salola in 2009. 4 children. One father who chose to love them all. The paparazzi captured their perfect moments. Red carpets where Seal held Leni's hand. Family vacations where biology meant nothing and love meant everything. But behind the cameras, cracks were forming. 2012 brought the announcement that shattered hearts worldwide. After 7 years of marriage, Heidi and Seal were separating. We have had the deepest respect for one another throughout our relationship, they said in a joint statement. But respect doesn't heal broken dreams. The divorce turned ugly. Custody battles, public accusations. 2 people who once promised forever, now fighting over time with their children. Seal accused Heidi of keeping the kids from him. Heidi claimed he was trying to control her career. Love letters became legal documents. Wedding photos became evidence. And, in the middle of it all, for children watching their world implode, Leni was 8 when her parents divorced. Old enough to understand that Papa wouldn't be living with them anymore. Young enough to blame herself for the chaos. The media had a field day. Seal fights for custody. Heidi moves on with bodyguard. Children caught in celebrity divorce drama. But what the headlines missed was the real story. A young girl struggling to understand why love could disappear so quickly. Why promises could be broken so easily. For years, the relationship between Seal and his children became tabloid fodder. Missed visitations, delayed reunions. A father trying to stay connected across an ocean of resentment. Leni grew up in the spotlight, but lived in the shadows. Her mother's new relationships. Her father's sporadic appearances. The constant question of where she belonged. She started modeling at 16, following her mother's footsteps into a world that would judge every curve, every angle, every imperfection. The comparisons were inevitable. Mini Heidi. The next generation modeled genes. But Leni was carving her own path, not just as Heidi's daughter or Seal's adopted child. As herself 22 too brought a revelation that rocked their family again. For the first time, Leni publicly acknowledged her biological father, Flavio Briatore. The man who had abandoned her before birth suddenly wanted a relationship. 23 years later, he reached out. Not to the baby he'd walked away from, but to the successful young woman she'd become. It was messy. It was complicated. It was heartbreaking in ways that only abandoned children understand. But through it all, one constant remained. Seal, the man who had chosen her when no one else would. The photos started appearing again. Leni and Seal together in New York. Arms around each other like the years of separation had never happened. "My beautiful daughter," he would caption the posts. "I'm so proud of everything that Leni has done, and I'm more proud of everything that she is." She had grown into a young woman of remarkable grace. Not bitter about her childhood chaos. Not broken by her parents' mistakes. Strong enough to love multiple fathers without betraying any of them. Her 21st birthday in May 2024 was a testament to that strength. She celebrated with both Seal and Flavio. The father who raised her and the father who created her. A dinner table that would have been impossible just years before. But the most recent photo tells the real story. Leni and Seal, arms wrapped around each other. Her head on his shoulder. His smile genuine and proud. "Papa's biggest fan," she wrote. 3 words that said everything about chosen love. About the power of showing up. About families that are built rather than born. Look at that photo and you see something beautiful. A young woman who could have been destroyed by abandonment but was saved by adoption. A father who didn't have to love her but chose to anyway. Seal once said something profound about Leni. She walks through life with this type of humility that allows her to move so gracefully through it all. That grace didn't happen by accident. It was taught by a man who showed up when others walked away. Who stayed when others left. Who loved when others could. Single quotes. In a world obsessed with DNA and bloodlines, their story rewrites the rules. Family isn't just about genetics. It's about commitment. It's about presence. It's about choosing love every single day. Heidi Klum stands as living proof that the best fathers aren't always biological ones. That the deepest bonds aren't always the oldest ones. That love is a choice, not a coincidence. She calls him Papa. He calls her his daughter. And in between those words lives a truth that biology can't touch and divorce can't destroy. Sometimes the greatest love stories aren't about romance. They're about a man who sees a pregnant woman and doesn't see someone else's mistake. He sees his future, his family, his choice. Sometimes the greatest heroes don't wear capes. They wear dad jeans and show up to school plays. They teach you to drive and walk you down aisles. They love you before you're born and after everyone else leaves. In a recent interview, when asked about fatherhood, Seal's eyes lit up. She has an innate understanding of people in general and people's feelings. So I'm kind of more impressed with everything that she is. That's not just pride talking. That's a father recognizing himself in his child, seeing his values reflected. In her choices, knowing that his love didn't just save her. It shaped her. The photo that started this story shows more than a reunion. It shows redemption, proof that broken families can heal, that divorced parents can still love their children, that chosen love can triumph over biological bonds. Leni Klum isn't just Heidi's daughter, or Hugh's adoptee, or Flavio's abandoned child. She's all of those things, and none of them. She's simply herself, strong enough to navigate multiple families, graceful enough to love them all, and in her arms around Seal. In those three simple words, Papa's biggest fan, we see something that gives us hope. Love wins. Choice matters. Family is what you make it, not what genetics hands you, not what society expects, but what you choose to build, day by day, year by year, heart by heart. This is their story. A story that began with abandonment and bloomed into love. A story that proves the most beautiful families aren't born. They're chosen. What did you think of Leni and Seal's incredible journey? Have you experienced chosen family in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story moved you, make sure to subscribe for more untold celebrity stories that will change how you see family, love, and the power of showing up for the people who matter most.